darkness rises and light to meet it.
Leia Organa Solo had sat out the Battle of Sluisvan on the Wookiee homeworld of Kashyyyk in order to protect herself from Thrawn's Noghri kidnapping teams. The Noghri attacked a third time, but the Wookiees took one of them captive, and from this soldier, Leia learned that the Noghri revered Darth Vader for his help in restoring their homeworld of Hanagar after its poisoning during the Clone Wars. The Noghri had served Vader and later Thrawn as death commandos. What the Noghri did not realize was that the Imperial Restoration teams had deliberately kept Hanagar in a state of ruin, thus ensuring that the Noghri remained in the Empire's thrall indefinitely. As the daughter of Darth Vader, Leia suspected she might be able to bring the aliens around through diplomacy. Bringing Chewbacca and C-3PO, she traveled with the captured Noghri and surveyed Hanagar's endless plains of scorched grass. Before long, Leia uncovered the Empire's trickery and demonstrated the proof to a square filled with angry Noghri, dramatically winning them over to her side. Immediately, word was sent out to all Noghri death commandos out on missions for the Empire. They either secretly abandoned their assignments and returned to Hanagar, or attempted to sabotage the Empire's aims before being killed. News of the Imperial treachery even reached the Star Destroyer Chimera, where the Noghri warrior Rook worked as Grand Admiral Thrawn's bodyguard. Rook chose to bide his time, waiting for the appropriate moment to take revenge on the deceivers of his people. Thrawn's machinations were not limited to military maneuvers, however. He also manipulated financial records and banking transactions to make it appear that Admiral Ackbar, the commander of the New Republic fleet, was guilty of treason. At the urging of the Bothan counselor Borsk Failya, Ackbar was placed under house arrest until the matter could be resolved. Solo and Calrissian decided to investigate, and they ended up encountering 3 vintage dreadnoughts under the command of General Garm Bel Iblis. In the 9 years since he had quit the Rebel Alliance, the legendary Corellian senator had built up a private army. His hit-and-run strikes against the Empire were successful but limited in scope. His stubborn pride and simmering anger toward Mon Mothma had prevented Bel Iblis from joining the New Republic. His dreadnoughts came from the Katana fleet. The 200 Katana dreadnoughts had been the object of countless lost treasure hunts for generations, but now, with both sides in the Galactic Civil War desperately in need of warships, the acquisition of the Lost Armada could easily tip the scales. While Bel Iblis did not know the location of the fleet, he had a contact who did. Unfortunately, before Solo and Calrissian could meet with him, Grand Admiral Thrawn apprehended the man. Fortunately, the smuggling chief Talon Karrde had also discovered the location of the Katana fleet. The New Republic hastily threw together a strike team and arrived at the point in space where the forgotten dreadnoughts had been drifting. Battle broke out as Luke Skywalker and Han Solo boarded the flagship Katana. Unexpected reinforcements, General Garm Bel Iblis and his dreadnoughts, along with members of Talon Karrde's smuggling organization, briefly bolstered the New Republic, but the Imperials called in their own reserves. Aboard the flagship, Han Solo remembered that the Katana fleet had been primarily slave-rigged. The slave controls in the Katana bridge allowed Solo to reactivate one of the idle dreadnoughts and remote steer it straight into the nose of the Star Destroyer Peremptory. Both ships exploded in a spectacular fireball, and Thrawn's Imperials fled. The New Republic's victory was dampened by 2 pieces of sobering news. Out of the original 200 dreadnoughts, only 15 remained. The others were already in Imperial hands. The second grim reality came to light after examining the bodies of the dead stormtroopers aboard the Katana. Each corpse shared the same face. In the 5 years since the Empire's defeat at Endor, the cloning technology that had once produced legions of stormtroopers had vanished, made useless by dwindling resources or destroyed outright in accordance with Emperor Palpatine's orders. The surviving cloned stormtroopers perished through attrition, and for years prior to the Thrawn incident, the Stormtrooper Corps had been composed almost exclusively of conscripts and recruits. The idea that the Grand Admiral had resurrected this lost science terrified the New Republic, particularly the news that he had found a way to grow fresh clones in a matter of days. Mon Mothma and the others envisioned a new round of clone wars, this time with Coruscant on the losing side, and made the uncovering of Thrawn's cloning complex their top priority. And so Admiral Ackbar was reinstated as fleet commander, the financial scandal having been revealed as an Imperial setup. On Coruscant, Leia Organa Solo gave birth to twins, a boy and a girl, named Jason and Jaina, who were to join the new generation of Jedi Knights. Because she had been in Emperor's hand, Mara Jade had known many of Palpatine's secrets, including the location of the Mount Tantiss cloning facility on Wayland. Mara led Luke Skywalker, Han Solo, Chewbacca, Lando Calrissian, and their droids to Wayland to destroy Thrawn's ready-made soldier facility. Upon reaching Mount Tantiss, Luke and Mara headed for the Emperor's throne room. Waiting for them on the throne, like an arachnid at the center of its web, was Joruus C'baoth. The demented Jedi Master was easily a match for both Skywalker and Jade combined. While he toyed with them, he unleashed a shocking surprise. C'baoth had grown a special clone from Skywalker's own genetic material, taken from the hand Luke lost on Cloud City. The mindless drone Luke Skywalker was his exact duplicate. The clone had a lightsaber as well, the blue-bladed saber that had once belonged to Anakin Skywalker, a weapon that had been considered lost since the tragic events in Cloud City. The doubles squared off in a frenzied duel, though she had often expressed her desire to murder the man who had brought about the Emperor's death. Mara Jade ended the combat by killing the Luke clone. C'baoth, in a fit of rage, collapsed the chamber's ceiling, but Mara skewered him cleanly through the torso. Deep in the lower levels, Lando Calrissian and Chewbacca sabotaged the central equipment column of the cloning complex, triggering an irreversible overload spiral. The infiltration team escaped just as Mount Tantiss exploded spectacularly. The laboratory's destruction meant the loss of priceless artworks and historical artifacts stored in the Emperor's private vaults. It also seemed to bury forever all evidence of Bothan involvement in the devastation of Camus, much to Consular Borsk Phalia's relief. More than a decade would pass before a data card plucked from the rubble would stir up old animosities and touch off a galaxy-wide search for the Camus document. And that is where this part of the story ends. So join me next time for the conclusion of Thrawn's legacy. And if you're new here to the channel, subscribe and hit that like button so you can enjoy more great Star Wars content. And if you're so inclined, we have memberships available on this channel. Join the Dreamwalkers as we bring order to the YouTube galaxy. Now I'd like to thank my channel members John Matrix, Rhodes Rants, Biggles Metz, Callisto Arcus, and Keaton Haas. Thank you so much for your support. Always remember that peace is a lie, there is only passion. Through passion I gain strength, and through strength I gain power. Through power I gain victory, and through victory my chains are broken. The Force shall free me. That is why I do what I love, and I hope you love what I do. This has been Lore and Legends. Until next time.